Hey, Tony Guys here, popping in. Now, I kept forgetting, and I apologize because several of you sent me a clip from Yellow Couch Podcast, which, why y'all still watching that podcast, I have no clue. If you must have a hot seat in hell that you want to sit on, because I would not be watching no podcast that is only agenda is to promote fornication and adultery and the condoning of it. And so, for one, you first have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, why am I consuming this garbage? Because these words that I'm hearing do take effect, and they will take root, they will take hold in your spirit. So y'all sent me this clip of a lady with a man. I'm assuming it was her husband, and she was saying that God graced her to go through what she went through with her husband. And when he was telling her, I don't want you, or you ain't good enough, or whatever, that God graced her to go through that, and that she would be ironing his clothes when he was getting ready to go out and cheat with the woman on the side. And that kind of goes back to what we have talked about when I'm telling you and talking to you about how a man will test you. A man will test you. He will try to see what all he can get away with, what you gonna put up with. That is very real. And looking at the gentleman, I could tell that, he's had rough days of being overlooked, mistreated, not wanted, having not really been him. And looking at her, I could tell she's been overlooked, mistreated, not wanted. And just because of beauty constructs and the societal standards that people live by and how people are judged. Now, of course, now they probably may be much heavier than they were, in high school and college age or what have you. But it really is a thing of, as you know, some women it has nothing to do with being graced by God, because God doesn't condone sin. God doesn't reward sin. So to be ironing a man clothes when you know he getting ready to go out and cheat has nothing to do with God and everything to do with Satan. Has everything to do with self-hate. It has everything to do with self-loathing. It has everything to do with insecurity. God does not grace a woman to be cheated on and to be dogged out, because God calls a man to love his wife as Christ loved the church. So God will grace a woman to walk away when she is being treated like crap, treated like bubble gum on the bottom of a shoe. God will grace a woman to file a divorce, because infidelity is a reason for divorce even in the Bible. So God will grace a woman with the strength to file for divorce and to walk away and to heal and to love again. And the lady who was talking still is not healed. She still is hurting, and she getting her get back to a degree, because she brought him on the yellow couch to give him a public thrashing and lashing while also debasing herself. So that was a humiliation ritual, because she came to the world and said, he used to tell me this and this, and when he used to say this and this and this, no man want the world to know. And he was sitting up there, he about to break their neck, trying to nod their head, He about to fall out that chair like, my goodness, well, you got to tell everything. My goodness, is you finna keep our secret? Like, my goodness, I ain't know we were coming on TMZ. Thought we were coming on a spiritual podcast. my goodness, why you had to told him I spit in your face? Why you told him I hit you in the head with a frying pan? He was up there like, my goodness. So that's her making him pay the price, because now everybody who know him, who worked with him, who been around him, they ain't know he was a dog like that. They ain't know he was nasty like that. Now his co-workers, whether he work in the church or work a job or whatever, not all the women that was looking up to him like, man, you a good man, you married, you changed your life, you stopped living there. I'm sure people had heard her story in the church before or whatever. But now they looking at him like, you low down, nasty piece of trash. And then she thought that was going to lift her up. And she thought that women was going to feel sorry for her for the way he used to treat her. And all the women looking at her like, child, you stupid. Child, you don't need to be nowhere near ministry. And that's the feeling I got from every woman that sent it to me, was like, look at this ridiculous woman on here with this foolishness. This is absolutely insane. She on here talking like this. And got young women under the sound of her voice talking about God was gracing her, because insecure women look for any reason to stay with a no good man. A woman who don't love herself is grasping at straws, trying to find somebody out there to condone her self-hate. And if you stay with a constant cheater, whether you a man or whether you a woman, if you stay with a constant cheater and you was getting dogged out and you stayed, don't tell nobody. Take that to your grave. That's not a testimony. That is not a testimony. Don't nobody want to hear that. Take it to your grave. Don't tell that story another time, because that's not what we trying to promote. We're not trying to promote struggle love. We're trying to promote honor and respect. We don't need now all of these men finna be like, look what she went through. He ain't do nothing but put a little weight on her, but look what she went through. You could go through that without gaining weight. Look what she did. See, you trying to talk down to me. You trying to act like I'm the worst man in the world. Look at these now about ministers, ain't they? Ain't these Christians? Look what she see. A man just gonna be a man. A man is human. Like me up there just sleeping with Tronquisha, it wasn't even no big deal. I ain't even care nothing about it. And then you sent me over there wrinkle. He was over there with pleated pants with a crease. I'm over there wrinkle. Give me a little butt on the side, and I'm in wrinkles. See, that's what I be talking about. It's like I need a better woman, cause look what the Lord graced her to do. Oh, you must don't really know the Lord then. You must be talking to the devil. That's why you ain't got the grace for when I'm be cheating. You ain't got no grace. You around here throwing frying pans and you ready to leave me. I'm taking you through the conversations. That right there is the conversation that was had in every household that watched that terrible podcast. Podcasts need to be set on fire. It's absolute abomination to the Lord. Stuff they be on there talking about. Every clip y'all send me be terrible. I ain't seen a good clip yet. I ain't seen the work of the Lord be done yet. And be talking about, oh, I'm a Christian, but this ain't no Christian podcast. How do you separate being a Christian from having a Christian outlet? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. That's like Satan saying, yeah, I'm Satan, but I ain't got no fire in hell. We singing praises in hell. We sing praise and worship. We ain't got no fire. No, if you're a Christian, then every outlet, your podcast should be a Christian podcast. Everything you do should be Christian. You can't be a Christian and then have an atheist podcast. That don't make sense. You're not a Christian then. You're not a Christian when you spewing and you letting idiots come sit down and spew idiocracy. That is dumb. That is absolutely dumb. And y'all is going to burn in hell. I'm trying to tell you now, I'm trying to warn you. When you is leading people astray in the name of the Lord, you're not going into no pearly gates with me, with streets paved with gold. You're not finna be in heaven. You're fixing to be in hell because you're leading people astray. Because now you got 1 million women, or how many other women? Hopefully it ain't nothing but 2 or 3, and the Lord don't like to lose one. So we going for them 2 or 3. I thank the Lord for reminding me to shoot this video. If you are being cheated on, leave. That's the Bible. Leave. If you being cheated on, file for divorce. God is not gracing you to be with no fool. God is not gracing you to be with no bombastic, idiotic, numbnut of a brain man. Especially looking like Who Shot John and Forgot to Kill Him. I was listening to her, so I really didn't look at him. But from the little bit of what I seen, I'm not finna be ironing clothes for Humpty Dumpty to go sit on a wall. Absolutely not. I am not. I can understand maybe if he was a bill of health and looking like God hand carved him or something to you, and you just so smitten, I might try to understand you then, like, oh, okay, you thought he just was the most handsome thing in the world, or he's a billionaire, he could take care of all y'all, he used to be Muslim so they could have multiple wives. Like, I'm trying to hear something that gonna make sense to me. Hold on, you ironing clothes for Humpty Dumpty to go sit on a wall? That don't make no sense. With another woman? Child, please. God ain't grace you for that. The devil grace you for it so you could sit up here on this yellow couch with this fornicating Christian and spew this foolishness to the world. That's the work of the Satan. That is the work of the devil. God ain't got nothing to do with that. God like, child, please. You must say, read my Bible. My Bible say infidelity is a sin, and that's a divorceable cause. Like, what you talking about? The Lord sitting there looking like, what they, hey, Michael, come on. Hey, Benedict, come on. Gabriel, come on. Did you grace her for that? Cause I know good and well I wasn't nowhere near them. I don't know I'm not. My son Tony sent me the reel. That what the Lord, they're like, what the real? What y'all talking about? Lord looking like, who is this? Hey, bring me the Lamb Book of Life. Bring me the Lamb Book of Life. What the name is? Name ain't in here. Name ain't in here. Name ain't in here. Did not grace you to be out here in threesomes. To be out here in all this fornication. That's a threesome. Even though the other woman wasn't in the house. And then what you got to realize, when people sit down to open their mouth and tell you all their business, they still ain't telling you everything. Because some stuff they can't even stomach. Some stuff they can't even stomach. So from the little 30 seconds I watched, from the amount she told, or what he used to say to her and what she was doing, that man probably was coming home giving her golden showers after cheating on her. Y'all know the golden shower is when somebody pee on you. Pee on it and calling it rain. Coming home, get in the tub. Yeah. When somebody tell you that much of their business without you asking, it's a whole lot worse that they ain't tell. Oh, it was terrible. Oh, that relationship was terrible. That relationship's still terrible. Their relationship is horrible. And see, the thing about it is, the podcast host is out here taking these women through hell and back on earth. And so that's why he recruit guests that got terrible stories to narcissistically abuse and control his little woman that he talking to. So that's how he indoctrinate these women of, listen, look what these Christians went through. You coming down hard on me just because I want to have a little sex and be in fornication in constant sin, even though I keep talking about abstinent and I keep lying. So you beating up on me, but look at what they did. Look at what they went through. That's how he indoctrinate the women he want to talk to. And the women he want do not want him. You're going to have to marry a rock. And the rock going to leave. The rock going to cry. Because the podcast is terrible. So y'all, listen. For informational purposes only, send me that foolishness. Other than that, don't send me that foolishness. I have to go bathe in olive oil. Grape juice, communion. I got to go swim in the lake of grape juice and the blood of after watching that foolishness. I have to go all kind of purging and cleansing of my spirit, and ears bleed. It just is terrible. This stuff out here that these people pushing. This stuff is terrible. And when the Lord send me a budget, me and Caleb finna get in person and do an in-person seminar, podcast, and do it the right way and shut all these other little stupid podcasts up. Because they is terrible. The stuff they be on here talking about. The stuff is horrible. So y'all listen. No, God is not gracing nobody to be cheated on. God gracing you to file your behind right down to that courthouse and file for divorce. And move on with your life. Live like Apostle Paul and live for the Lord. That's what the Lord gracing you to do. When you get cheated on, your marriage is null and void. It is no longer of God. You have the authorization to move on with your life, because that is not the covenant. That is not the vow. And the man is not loving you the way Christ loved the church. And if you choose to forgive, then you choosing to forgive. But don't expect nothing, don't want nothing, don't blame God, don't do nothing of that. You could pray for the strength if you want to stay, then pray for the strength to stay. But don't go get on nobody's couch. That's between you and the Lord. Because your grace might not be nobody else's grace. Somebody else might get cheated on and catch AIDS. And you might have AIDS and ain't telling nobody you got AIDS. So now you're setting other people up to get AIDS and every other STD, because they saying, oh, well, she was graced to get cheated on. I don't feel like leaving. I don't feel like starting all the way over. I don't feel like my kids not being in the home with their dad. So the Lord must be gracing me to stay and keep getting cheated on or getting beat on or going upside my head or disrespecting me, dogging me out, whatever. Like insecure people who is talking to Satan and don't know they talking to Satan be looking for any and everything. Be looking for any and everything. So yeah, got to coach a client here in 3 minutes. Y'all forgive me, texting with my wife. I have planned her a girls' dinner this Friday and make sure she talked to the chef and got everything set up the way she needed. And that's how you love your wife, the way Christ loved the church. Think about her even when she ain't thinking about herself, and do something that she wouldn't even do for herself. And instead of getting your clothes ironed to go cheat, and then letting the woman go tell the story about it. It's like, if you love your wife, tell her. And y'all forgive my French, because this is yin and yang. Me and my brother R.C. Blake's. He is the more gentle. God used different people in the Bible. So I use a little more, I might use different words, but it means the same thing. So if you love your wife and you were cheating on her, dogging her out, she ironing your clothes while you going to get with another woman, tell your wife not to be quiet, but to shut up. Don't say nothing, because you done did worse. So and I'm not saying this seriously. Some people but no, we don't need you to be quiet. We need you to shut up. That's a little different. We don't need you on nobody's couch. Don't ever tell that story again in your life. That's between you and God. If that's what God did for you, keep it to yourself. We don't need nobody else getting cheated on, catching STD, getting gold upside their head, going through all of this right here and that. No, we don't need nobody. It's babies in the Lord that think they supposed to stay when they man dogging them out. They don't even understand what you talking about you was graced by the Lord. They don't understand what that means. They just understand, oh, if my man cheating, stay. Because that's what God said do. No, God didn't tell you to do that. God did not tell you to do that. And that ain't what he talking about. So let that go on about your business. Hey, all the important links is in the description. Thank you so much. Somebody sent a donation yesterday to the Tony Gaston Family Foundation. Thank you so much. God bless you. And got a couple more agents join the team. You'll see the link. You want to become an insurance agent and get your whole neighborhood, your whole city, your whole church, get them insured, take care of their family, set their life up. Click the link and join my agency. God bless you. We'll talk soon.